Oke, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good day everyone. I hope all of you are now doing well today. Yeah, okay. Now in this section, we would like to continue our discussion. As last week, we already discussed about the way or the easy way to introduce ourselves. I also already give you several forms, to build a sentence in order to introduce yourself each by one by one, I guess. Okay, now we move to another discussion related to daily routine. Guys, what comes into your mind when you hear the word daily and the word routine? Of course, something that comes into our mind is the activity, isn't it? Yeah, the repeat activity. So when we talk about daily and also talk about routine, it means that it refers to the repeat activity. Yeah, nice. And after that, we also going to discuss about telling the time. Yeah, because it's told about schedules, of course, we need to attach the times too. Right. Now, let's move to the next page. So, telling the times in daily activity, it's very important and very crucial. That it also become the things that you need to underline and understand first. Yeah. Okay. In telling the times about daily activity, it's of course important because why? Can anyone help me to answer that? Yeah, because we need to point out when it happened. Yeah, and for example, I wake up at 5 a.m. Meaning that schedules happens in a 5 a.m., isn't it? Yes. Okay. In telling the times, of course, all of you already know how to tell the times properly. Yeah. In SMP, in SMA, SD2, we have discussed a lot about how to tell the times using the times in English. Yeah. Commonly, we also familiar with the what we call British one and also the American one. Yeah. Okay. For British one, basically we discuss about blah 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 and so on and British also. And in here, I want to make a conclusion between British one and also American one in order to telling the time. Okay. Now let's look at the first point. In the first point, it says that we need to say the hours first and also then it followed the minutes. Yeah, for example, 10:15. Meanings in bahasa Indonesia, it's what we call as 10:15. Yeah. In the first point, it's basically point out the American rule in order to telling the time. Yeah. Okay. The next one in the point 2, we need to say the minutes first and then followed by the hours. So in the point 2, actually, this is the rule in order to show or in order to say the time using the British one. Okay, in the rule number 2, the things that we need to know first, it's the password. Pass mean lewat in bahasa Indonesia ya. And 2 means kurang, half means 30 menit atau setengah ya. And then you need to put the hours after you mention the minutes. Okay, for example here, 15 minutes past 10 ya. Berarti 10:15. Kita bacanya we need to read it from the behind first, yeah, 10:15. Okay, and then how to ask the times. Of course, I guess all of you already know how to ask the times. We need to say what's times now, or what time is it, like that. To answer that question, you may telling the time using which one do you prefer with. You want to use American or British one. Yeah, you may say like it's 12 o'clock or it's 15 minutes past 10, like that. Okay, guys, but in this discussion we don't want to discuss the telling the times more further. I guess all of you already know how to tell the time properly, yeah, but we would like to discuss a lot in daily routine. Okay, just like intermezzo, yeah. Okay, now let's move to daily routine. Yeah, in daily routines, there are several seasons or activity that we want to take a part with. The first one, we want to know about the morning routine. And the second one, we have work routine. And the last one, we have evening routine. So what comes into your mind when you hear the word morning routine? Of course, it will tell about the activity that happened that we have done in the morning, right? For example, I wake up at 5 a.m. Yeah, or I never wake up at 5 a.m. and so on. After that, I take a bath. After taking a bath, for example, then I pray subuh. After praying subuh, I breakfast and so on. That's what we call as a morning routine. Okay, now let's move to the next season or next activity. So the second activity, it's talking about work routine. In the work routine, so of course, you need to point out and also saying about your what we call afternoon routine. Yeah, for example, all of you is the students. For at the work routine, I go to the college and I meet with my friends, for example, like that. Yeah, okay. And in the morning routine, also sometimes we have we always not sometimes, but we always do or have lunch. Yeah, have lunch, and after that I pray zuhur for yang Islam, yeah. And then the last we have the third season or the third activity, which is it's called what we call as evening routine. So in evening routine, meaning that you need to share your activity during and after the work routine. The evening routine, why I say it evening routine, not night routine? Because when we talk about night routine, meaning there is no activity anymore that you can do. But if we use evening routine, meaning that there are several activities that we think we may do. Yeah. Jadi if we say night routine and then it's done, after that you go to sleep. Yeah. There is no activity anymore. But in evening routine, there are still several activities that we need to do before we go to the sleep. Yeah, that's the differences actually. So in the evening routine, maybe you may tell about your activity after the work routine. For example, after work, I go to home. After I'm going home, meaning that after that for example, I take a bath and pray ashar, and after and then I pick up my child, and after that I blah 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 and so on. Yeah. Now the things that we need to know is the grammar for daily routine. So grammar, we need to underline the word grammar here. So when we talk about daily routines, meaning that we need to use simple present tense. Why simple present tense? Because in simple present tense, it tells the daily activity. Yeah, it tells the daily activity, which is in daily activity, we do the activity repeatedly. So in simple present tense, we also talk about the activity, which is we did the activity repeatedly. For example, we wake up. All of you wake up, yeah? All of you wake up in the morning. All of you have a lunch. All of you have a dinner, and so on, so on. So meanings that simple present tense is talking about the activity that we do it repeatedly. For example, I eat breakfast at 7 a.m. So guys, here, in order to say the simple present tense, the formulations that you need to that you need to know is the first one, that you need to be able to attach the subject, and then the verb one, please pay attention. In the simple present tense, we need to say and also use verb one. Breakfast. Breakfast is the activity, like that. Okay, so we need to be able to use the simple present tense. So, but it quite different if you use the subject singular. So as we have discussed last week, we already identified if in English we have 7 subject in English. So the first one, I, you, we, they, she, he, it. So and that in that what we call in that subject, guys, we need to differ which subject is plural, and which subject is singular. So the plural subject, it refers to, for example, like I, you, we, and they. So this is kind of a plural subject. Meanwhile, for the singular one, we need to attach like she, he, and it. Okay. The plural, it consists of I, you, we, they. Meanwhile, for the singular, it consists of she, he, it. Guys, in order to use the simple present tense, you need to know kind of subject at first. When I switch this subject, for example, become she, of course you need to put s after the verb itself. You need to put s or es, depends on the verb itself. Okay, so in conclusion, when you want to say when you want to use simple present tense with the singular subject, meaning that you need to put s after the verb that you use in that sentence. For example, here, she eats breakfast at 7 a.m. It's different like I. If we use I, we don't need to put s in the verb itself. Okay, you got the point? Okay, nice. Let's continue to the next discussion. Okay, now there are several adverbs of frequency that you need to know, guys, in telling your daily activity. The first one is always. Always means in bahasa Indonesia selalu, So, and after that we have often. Not often actually, but we need to delete f after this in this word. Sorry. We need to pronounce this word as often, like that. And then the third one, we have usually. Usually meaning that pada umumnya or biasanya, like that, And then the fourth one, we have sometimes. Sometimes, kadang-kadang, rarely, jarang, hardly ever, hampir tidak pernah, and then never. But actually, there are several adverbs of frequency over there, but this is just what we call the examples of the adverb of frequency. You may use the other adverb of frequency if you want to. Okay, guys, let's see the frequency of each adverb of frequency. Let's have a look to the next slide. So now we have always. Always meaning that you do that activity 100% always, selalu kamu lakukan gitu, And then it has percentage 100%. So when you talk, for example, I always miss you, meaning that you always miss, you never have a chance to not miss your boyfriend, for example, And often, In often we have 90%. It has possibilities that you still not do the activity, ya. Jadi ada kemungkinan kalau teman-teman di sini nggak ngelakuin activities itu kalau ketika kalian pakai often, ya. Masih 10% yang nggak ngelakuin berarti. Okay, next we have usually, it has 70%. Sometimes 50%, rarely 30%, hardly ever 10%, and never 0%. So guys, you need to know each of this adverb frequency and use this adverb of frequency when you want to build or write your daily activity. Okay, now let's move to the list of activity that we sometimes do. Yeah, in the morning routine there are several list of activities, starting from wake up, do yoga, check emails, go for runs, make a breakfast, and blah 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 until go to work. So this list of activity you may use for your morning routine. Yeah, for your morning routine, you may use this kind of prompt. For example, I wake up. Meaning that you use this prompt, like you wake up at 5 a.m. or I wake up at 4 p.m. and so on. Yeah. Okay, you guys, you may use this kind of prompt if you want to. But if you have another morning routine, you may put it down on your prompt later on. Okay. Next, sequencers. So, Miss, what is sequencer actually? I don't know what is sequencer. So, guys, in here, I want to let you know if sequencers is runutan, yeah? The words of runutan. For example, like before, after, then, and next. So, what is the function of sequencers? I don't know, Miss. That's okay. That's great. If you have a question like that. So the sequencers have functions for like make your sentences more smooth. If you just say that I wake up at 5 a.m. I take a bath. I go to work. I take lunch. It could be boring for someone who hear your explanation. So you need to attach the sequencers after that word. Actually, this is only some examples or samples of the sequencers. So there are many, I guess, so much sequencers over there. So you guys can explore by yourself. It's just examples only. Okay, nice. Let's move to the work routine. So, what kind of activities that we need to explain in work routines? The first one, we have eat a lunch. Yeah, eat lunch. Go for work. Pay bills. Go meeting. Afternoon snack. Take a break, go to gym, and finish work. For example, you may checklist or you may put it down on your prompt if you want to. Okay, next we have evening routine. So in evening routine, of course, this is telling about the activity that happened in the evening. For example, like eat dinner, shower, read, and blah blah blah. You may explore yours. Okay, now let's have a look to the example. The first sentence tells about I usually take my dog Frankie for a walk. We often go to the park, but sometimes to the beach. I cook dinner at 6 o'clock. I usually work best in the morning. That's what I'm the most productive. I always have a meeting first thing in the morning when I start work. Sometimes I am focused on my work. I won't even stop to eat lunch. I've rarely finished my workday by 5 p.m. like that, yeah. So guys, you may write the your activity maybe by have a look at this example. So this is another example that you can use. Basically ini yang lebih runut ya Miss buat ya. Okay, the first sentence itu we have I get up every day at 5 a.m. I like to drink coffee after getting up. After finish my coffee, I make my breakfast. I take a shower after eating my breakfast. I brush my teeth during my shower. After cleaning my teeth, I get dressed and ready to go to work. Around afternoon, I eat lunch. Sorry, itu kurang H. And then the last one, at 7 a.m., I eat dinner. Guys, in the next exercise, you need to say your activity, explain your activity until you have a sleep. Yeah. So, as you can see in the PowerPoint here, there are several words that I highlight too. Yeah, yang di highlight kuning. So, when you want to use the word after, you need to be able to put a verb in. Ya, after that word itself. Jadi kalau kita pakainya after, ya, sequencersnya after, teman-teman harus nambahin verb one ing setelah itu. Ya, jangan lupa. Jadi, for example, like after finishing my coffee, I make my breakfast. So, guys, let us identify which one is the subject based on the third sentences. Yeah, the subject is I make. I make my breakfast. Ya, I make my breakfast. Jadi, after finishing ini hanya kalimat pengantarnya aja. So, you need to put finishing or verb ing after you use the word after here. Ya, jadi jangan lupa kalau pakai after berarti kata kerjanya ditambahin ing. Okay, nice. Okay, we have in the last section of our discussion. So, guys, your turn now. Jadi tugasnya itu adalah nanti setelah menyimak materi ini, teman-teman di sini tugasnya membuat video tentang your daily routine. Jadi starting from what we call morning routine and also work routine until the evening routine. Ya, jadi di sini teman-teman nanti silahkan buat sendiri daily routine sesuai dengan apa yang sudah Miss jelaskan tadi. Buatlah satu video. Jadi tugasnya membuat video daily routine tentang kegiatan sehari-hari kalian menggunakan bahasa Inggris ya. Jadi durasinya itu 1 sampai 5 menit. So, no more than 5 minutes and also no less than 1 minute. Jadi nggak boleh lebih dari 5 menit dan nggak boleh kurang dari 1 menit. Okay, guys, I think just it from me. Thank you so much for watching for my video. Thank you. See you later. I hope we can also meet in the next meeting in the session of tatap muka. Okay. In the next week. Thank you so much for your attention. Thank you for joining my class and see you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.